Temperatures will teeter around freezing for the next couple of mornings, so this is a good time to talk about the dangers of furnaces and space heaters. Every year, people die from heaters that are not maintained. Statistics from the National Fire Protection Association show fire departments answer about 45,000 fires each year because of them. Persistent smells are usually one tip that something is wrong. Beyond heating systems, there are other precautions from cold weather.
Pipes, plants, pets, and people. Don't forget to check on your neighbors, especially if you have elderly neighbors or those who maybe don't have family nearby. Check on your neighbors. Make sure you take care of your pets. Get them in tonight if at all possible. Cover your plants that are subject to freezing or bring them inside, and then take care of your pipes. Make sure that you have outside faucets protected, or you can leave water dripping inside your home. If you're in a position where you're working outside, especially at night, make sure that you dress properly, take appropriate work rest cycles, and get out of the environment. During the summertime, we talk about hydrating and getting out of the heat. Just as likely in the wintertime, you need to take an opportunity to warm up when you can.
Etheridge also reminds us of the importance of smoke detectors. The Dothan Fire Department installs them without charge.